Have you ever noticed how the spaces we live in seem to echo our emotions? When a room is filled with too many things, stacks of papers, crowded shelves, overflowing drawers, it's almost as if the air itself becomes heavy. Your eyes dart from one object to another, your thoughts race, and your body quietly tenses. You may not even realize it, but clutter steals calm moments from you every single day. Now picture the opposite. Imagine stepping into a living room where the sunlight drifts softly across a clean table. The shelves hold only a few treasured items, each one with meaning, each one easy to see. You sit down in your favorite chair, and instead of feeling distracted by piles of things, your shoulders relax. Your breathing slows. In that moment, the room isn't just a space, it's a sanctuary. Here's a calming truth. Researchers have found that clutter doesn't just take up space, it also adds stress. It's no wonder that so many people feel a wave of relief when they finally clear out what they don't need. And for those of us who have spent 60 years or more gathering memories, gifts, and belongings, the weight of it all can sometimes feel overwhelming. But here's where the journey gets interesting. Over the years, without noticing, we all collect certain kinds of things that quietly drain our peace of mind. And what may surprise you most is that there are 7 categories almost every senior has in their home right now. 7 things that, once released, can transform your space into one of simplicity, balance, and calm. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize those 7 things, you'll also feel inspired to begin letting go. And the moment you do, your home will feel lighter, your heart will feel freer, and your life will feel just a little more at peace. Think for a moment about the hidden piles of paper that quietly live in so many homes. Maybe it's the stack of old bills tucked into a drawer, or the yellowed receipts that sit in an envelope just in case. Perhaps there are magazines you plan to read someday, or instruction manuals for appliances you no longer own. These papers don't scream for attention, but they sit there, quietly reminding you of unfinished tasks, unmade decisions, and moments long gone. And here's the part that may surprise you. Studies have shown that even when we aren't looking directly at them, these piles of paper can increase feelings of anxiety and stress. It's as if your brain registers them as problems waiting to be solved. You may not even notice the tension at first, but your body does. A drawer that won't close, a desk covered with scattered documents, or a counter filled with unopened envelopes. All of it quietly weighs on your peace of mind. But the real shock is that most of these papers have already served their purpose. Expired coupons, outdated bills, and faded reminders don't hold any value anymore. They simply take up space. Imagine the relief of opening that drawer and seeing only what you truly need, important documents neatly stored and everything else gone. That kind of clarity is more powerful than most people realize. What would it feel like to sit down at your table without a pile of mail staring back at you? To know that every piece of paper in your home has a purpose and nothing else lingers to nag at your attention. That small act of clearing creates a ripple of calm through your entire space. Maybe you felt that knot in your stomach when you see an unopened letter, or the guilt of knowing there's a pile waiting for you in the corner. You're not alone in that feeling. Many people carry the same hidden tension, even if they don't talk about it. The simple act of letting go of old paper clutter can feel like lifting a weight off your chest, one page at a time. Open your kitchen cabinet for just a moment in your imagination. What do you see? Maybe there's a pan with scratches that hasn't been used in years. Perhaps a row of mismatched plastic containers, half of them missing their lids. Or maybe there's a bread maker you bought decades ago, still sitting proudly on the shelf, even though it hasn't been plugged in for ages. These items may seem harmless, but together they quietly crowd your space, turning what should be the heart of the home into a place of silent frustration. And here's where it gets interesting. Every time you reach for the pot you actually use, you're forced to push past the ones you don't. Every time you open the cabinet, there's that one thing that always falls forward, reminding you of how overfilled it is. It may not seem like much in the moment, but over time, these little irritations add up. They steal energy, they slow you down, and they keep your kitchen from feeling like the warm, inviting place it's meant to be. And right at that moment, when you notice just how often you avoid certain items, the truth becomes clear. Most of those things are not serving you anymore. They've quietly become clutter. The real shock is that you only need a small handful of tools to cook almost every meal. That one favorite pan, the cutting board you reach for daily, the utensils you know and love, those are the pieces that matter. Everything else, it's just noise. What if you opened your cabinets and saw only the items you actually enjoy using? Cooking would feel easier, lighter, calmer. Instead of bumping into clutter, you'd find exactly what you need without a second thought. If you ever opened a cabinet door and had something tumble out, hitting your arm or clattering to the floor, you already know how freeing this change could be. That moment of frustration doesn't have to be part of your everyday life. By letting go of unused kitchen items, you're not losing anything. You're making room for comfort, clarity, and ease in one of the most important rooms in your home. Clothing carries stories. Every shirt, every dress, every pair of shoes has a memory woven into its fabric. Maybe there's an old sweater you wore when your children were young, or a dress you danced in at a wedding decades ago. These pieces can feel like little time machines, taking you back to moments that mattered. But here's the truth. While the memory is priceless, the fabric itself may no longer serve you. Closets full of worn out, uncomfortable, or outdated clothing often weigh us down more than we realize. Think about how it feels to open your closet doors. Do you see clothes you love and wear, or do you see rows of things you haven't touched in years? And here's the surprising part. Keeping too many old clothes often keeps us stuck in the past instead of letting us enjoy the present. That jacket that no longer fits, the pants that pinch at the waist, or the shirts with faded colors all remind us of who we once were, not who we are today. Touch the fabric for a moment in your imagination. Does it feel soft and comforting, or rough and scratchy? Does it bring you joy to put it on, or does it make you sigh because it doesn't feel right anymore? When clothes no longer serve your body or your spirit, it's a gentle sign that it's time to let them go. The truth is, memories stay in your heart, not in your closet. And here's the most unexpected twist. When you remove the pieces you no longer wear, your closet feels bigger, lighter, and easier to use. Choosing an outfit becomes a calm experience instead of a frustrating search. Imagine walking in and seeing only clothes that fit, flatter, and feel good against your skin. Getting dressed would feel less like a chore and more like an act of self-care. Maybe you've held on to an outfit because it reminded you of a special time, or because you thought, maybe one day I'll wear this again. But deep down you know that day rarely comes. Letting go doesn't mean losing the memory. It means making space for the person you are now. And when you do, you'll feel a quiet sense of freedom every time you slide open that closet door. Bathrooms have a way of collecting things we no longer notice. Behind the cabinet doors, tucked on shelves, or resting at the back of drawers, old medications and half-used toiletries often linger far longer than they should, Maybe there's a bottle of cough syrup from years ago, a jar of cream you never finished, or a shampoo that didn't suit you but stayed anyway. At first glance, these items seem harmless, but their presence slowly clutters both the space and the mind. Here's the part many people overlook. Expired medications aren't just useless, they can actually be dangerous. Their effectiveness fades, their formulas can change, and in some cases, they may even cause harm if taken by mistake. Imagine the stress of reaching for medicine in a moment of need, only to realize later that it was long past its expiration date. That's not just inconvenient, it's unsettling. And toiletries, though less risky, can create a similar weight. The lotion that smells too strong, the face cream that left your skin irritated, the perfumes you never liked, all of them sit quietly, reminding you of wasted money or unmet expectations. Each time you see them, even if you don't realize it, they whisper a subtle sense of guilt or frustration. Now, imagine opening that same cabinet and seeing only what truly serves you today. Every bottle, every jar, every tube has a clear purpose. No more clutter, no more second guessing, no more wondering if something is still safe to use. Instead, you feel calm, confident, and cared for by your own space. If you're wondering right now, do I have expired medicine in my bathroom? You're not alone. Most people do. And yet, clearing it away is one of the simplest, most empowering steps you can take for both your health and your peace of mind. It's not just about tidying a shelf, it's about creating an environment where every single thing contributes to your well-being. Think about the pieces of furniture in your home that have been quietly aging alongside you. That chair with the wobbly leg, the table you keep meaning to repair, the lamp that hasn't worked in years. These items may seem harmless, but they have a subtle way of weighing down your living space. Each broken or unused piece sends a silent message to your brain. Your environment is incomplete, messy, or unsafe. Over time, even small imperfections like this can create a constant, low-level tension you might not even notice. Now imagine walking past that old armchair every day. You see it, and maybe you sigh, thinking, someday I'll fix it, but someday never comes. That's the micro cliffhanger of clutter. It occupies space in your home and mental energy in your mind. It may seem minor, but the moment you remove or repair it, the difference is almost immediate. The room feels lighter, your movements feel freer, the air feels less crowded. And here's the unexpected part. Getting rid of furniture you no longer use doesn't mean losing something important. Often, these items have outlived their purpose. They may hold memories, but they don't hold your present. Keeping them only keeps your space cluttered and your mind slightly tense, even when you don't realize it. Imagine opening your living room and seeing only the furniture you love, use, and feel comfortable around. No wobbles, no broken edges, no unused pieces collecting dust. Every chair invites you to sit, every table is ready to serve, and the room itself feels like a calm, intentional space rather than a storage area. If you've ever paused mid-step, avoiding a broken table or tripping over an unused piece of furniture, you already know the relief that comes from clearing it away. Removing these items is more than just tidying a room. It's reclaiming a sense of safety, order, and peace in your home. And the moment you do, your home feels ready to welcome you fully and comfortably every single day. Gifts have a way of holding stories, emotions, and connections. A delicate vase from a distant relative, a figurine that never quite matched your style, or a book given with good intentions but never read. They all sit quietly on shelves, in drawers, or tucked away in corners. At first, they may feel harmless, even sentimental. But over time, these gifts can become invisible weights in your home, taking up space and subtly affecting how you feel about your environment. Here's the surprising part. Keeping a gift you don't love often keeps you tied to obligation or guilt rather than joy. It occupies mental and emotional space, a constant little reminder of what you should feel rather than what you actually enjoy. The micro cliffhanger is that the very items meant to bring warmth can quietly add stress without you realizing it. And yet, parting with them doesn't erase the memory or the connection. The memory remains in your heart, in the laughter or the kindness behind the gift, not in the object itself. Imagine opening a shelf and seeing only items that truly bring you happiness or serve a purpose. Every object that stays contributes positively to your life instead of weighing you down. This is where letting go becomes empowering. You're not discarding love or forgetting the giver. You're reclaiming your home and your peace. And the moment you start, it feels like breathing again. Shelves that were once cluttered now feel light and airy, and every remaining item shines with meaning. If you've ever hesitated to part with a gift because of guilt or nostalgia, you're not alone. Many people feel the same tug between sentiment and practicality. By releasing the gifts that no longer serve you, you open up your space to clarity, calm, and items that truly make you smile. That simple act can transform the emotional atmosphere of your home in ways you might not have expected. Closets and linen cabinets have a way of quietly overflowing over the years. Sheets that no longer match, towels with frayed edges, blankets you haven't touched in ages, they all accumulate, taking up space and energy without anyone noticing. At first, it may seem harmless, just part of having a home, but over time, the sheer volume of unused bedding and towels can subtly affect how your space feels. A closet packed to the brim can create a sense of chaos, even when the rest of the room looks tidy. And here's the surprising truth. Most of these items will never actually be used. That extra set of sheets, just in case, sits at the back of the closet, waiting for a day that rarely comes. The old towels, kept because you might need them someday, are quietly crowding the shelves and making it harder to find the ones you actually love and use. This hidden clutter can make your home feel smaller, heavier, and less peaceful than it needs to be. Imagine opening your linen closet and seeing only what truly matters: soft, cozy sheets that feel good against your skin, towels that are fresh and inviting, blankets you genuinely enjoy wrapping yourself in. Each item has a purpose, and each piece contributes to comfort rather than confusion. The simple act of letting go of excess transforms not just your closet, but the way your entire home feels. If you've ever rummaged through a pile of towels searching for one that isn't frayed or mismatched, you already know the small frustration this clutter creates. By removing the extras, you create breathing room for the items that bring joy and practicality. Your mornings become smoother, your routines calmer, and the feeling of ease spreads throughout your home. Letting go of old bedding and towels isn't just about tidying, it's about creating a space that feels light, welcoming, and truly restful, so every corner of your home supports your comfort and peace. So here we are, at the end of our journey through the 7 things that quietly clutter a senior's home and weigh on peace of mind. Old papers, unused kitchen tools, worn-out clothing, expired medications and toiletries, broken or unused furniture, gifts you don't love, and extra bedding and towels. Each of these items carries its own subtle burden. They may seem harmless at first glance, but together they create a home that feels crowded, stressful, and heavier than it needs to be. Letting go of them is not about loss. It's about creating space for what truly matters: comfort, clarity, and calm. Imagine walking through your home and seeing only what you love and use. The air feels lighter. Every corner feels intentional. You notice a sense of ease you haven't felt in years. Even small spaces can feel expansive when each atom has a purpose and every surface is clear. And here's the unexpected truth. The moment you release even one of these 7 items, your home begins to breathe again. That drawer opens smoothly. That shelf feels airy. That cabinet invites you to explore instead of overwhelm you. It's not just about tidying up. It's about reclaiming a sense of freedom and control over your environment. People who have experienced this transformation often say they'll never forget the first deep breath they took in a decluttered space. Maybe you felt it too. An unspoken tension lifting, a quiet smile forming as you notice how much lighter your surroundings feel. Now, take a moment and imagine your home a week from today, a month from today, completely clear of these hidden stressors. How would it feel to move through your rooms without obstacles, to enjoy your favorite chair without distraction, to open a cabinet and find exactly what you need? The peace you're looking for starts with these small, intentional choices. So I'll ask you this. If you could let go of just one of these 7 things tonight, which one would it be? That single act could be the first step toward a calmer, lighter, more joyful home and a heart that feels a little freer every day.